South Bougainville MP Steven Kama dies. Fiji reels after Category 5 cyclone hits. And local teams seek showcase talents in NCD competition.
This is National MTV News with Lorraine Genia.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for Sunday's news. We begin with the sad news of the passing of National Parliamentarian Steven Kama. Kama was the member for South Bougainville until his passing. According to reliable sources, the late MP passed away on Friday in the Philippines while seeking medical treatment.
Bougainville has once again lost another prominent leader, late Steven Kama. The late Kama was the sitting MP representing the South Bougainvilleans in the national government. The late MP's cause of death is yet to be revealed. The late Kama spent 9 years in politics since 2008 after his victory in the 2007 national elections. He was a member of the United Resource Party of the coalition government. The late Kama was appointed Bougainville Affairs Minister, but early this year during the reshuffle was reappointed as Minister assisting the Prime Minister on Bougainville matters. During his time, the ruling government visited the autonomous region of Bougainville. His death now adds to the previous two who died while on duty under the ruling government, Goilala and Angoram MPs. Fabian Haklitz, National MTV News.
Prime Minister Peter O'Neill has expressed great sadness with the news of the passing of South Bougainville MP Steven Kama, saying the country has lost a truly remarkable leader. O'Neill recalled the late Mr. Kama as an honest and genuine person who served the people of Papua New Guinea with honour and distinction to bring healing and peace to the people of his electorate and Bougainville. Prime Minister O'Neill offered his condolences to Mr. Kama's bereaved family on behalf of the government of Papua New Guinea and encourages them to seek solace in his achievements. Now to Fiji, a country reeling from the impact of Tropical Cyclone Winston. A curfew remains in place, schools have been ordered to shut for a week, and a 30-day state of emergency has been declared after the Category 5 cyclone tore through Fiji overnight, flattening villages and transforming parts of the Pacific Island nation into a disaster zone. So far, one fatality has been attributed to the storm. An elderly man on Coral Island was killed after the roof of the house he was in collapsed. In another village on Coral Island, 50 homes were reportedly destroyed.
Casualty numbers appear to increase once reports come in from outlying islands and from so-called squatter areas where shanty-standard housing was unlikely to have withstood the Category 5 storm. Power, water and communication services are yet to be restored across this nation of almost 900,000 people. Australian Foreign Minister Julie Bishop said she had offered to send a P-3 Orion aircraft to carry out aerial surveillance of the outlying islands.
I have been in touch with my counterpart, Foreign Minister Inoki Kububola, and I have offered Australia's support, and we have in place pre-positioned supplies in Suva that are available. Our experience in previous natural disasters in the Pacific is that communications can be difficult in the outer lying islands, and there needs to be an immediate needs assessment, and we've offered to send a P-3 Orion should the Fijian government require it. At this stage, I believe the Fijian government is coming to terms with the damage, and we know there has been one fatality, and our thoughts are with all the Fijian people at this time.
Devastation wrought by Cyclone Pam in Vanuatu in March last year has, however, left the Fijian government well prepared, making 758 evacuation centres available for people who did not want to risk sitting out the storm in their homes. Winston struck at approximately 7 p.m. local time last night near Raki on the north coast of Fiji's main island. Relief efforts are being hampered by road blockage from debris and by power outage, but the police and army are taking up the cleanup task. The United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs has said it had an emergency response team on standby, but Bainimarama has yet to ask for help. The airlines Virgin and Jetstar yesterday suspended flights into and out of Fiji's international airport, while the national carrier Fiji Airways suspended all flights. Vanessa Knight, EMTV World News.
Air New Guinea has also temporarily suspended its services to Nandi International Airport. The Honiara-Nandi sector on flight PX084 scheduled for today was suspended and operated from Port Moresby to Honiara only. Air New Guinea has advised passengers to rebook or obtain refunds without penalties. The LNG Plant Landowners Association, representing the villages of Papa, Lealea, Boira and Poribada, have cautioned the national government to pay all outstanding royalty and benefits. The government's lack of response has irked villagers, raising grievances related to the PNG LNG project.
The LNG Plant Landowners Association representatives fronted up at the EMTV office this morning and raised the concerns about overdue royalty and equity benefits of the PNG LNG projects. Chief Now Association Chairman was vocal about the demand.
It's been 22 months and almost about 200 LNG shipments have left our shores.
They claim they have written several letters to the Prime Minister, but these have gone unanswered, leaving the landowners in suspense. Deputy Chairman Muri Henao said it's very damaging because people have been stripped of their rights to the land.
There are people who have suffered and are dying, waiting for to receive the benefits. But to date, now, as we speak now, there is nothing from the government.
What they want is for the national government to release funds contained in the 11% share to the Landowners Association.
But they cannot get our 11%. And they cannot disburse it on our behalf. The government must come straight with the 11%, put it in our hands, and we will manage our money.
The LNG Plant Landowners Association called on the national government to review the economic model used in the UBSA, provide credible information, and deal with the legitimate group. Fabian Hakalitz, National EMTV News.
EMTV understands State Investment Minister Ben Maika will be meeting with PNG LNG landowners tomorrow at 9 a.m. at the Gateway Hotel. Lae tidal basin concerns and education opportunities for grade 10 school leavers in India. That story and more after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to the news. Opposition leader Don Pollier has questioned the shortlisting of China Harbour Engineering Company as one of the 3 companies to work on Phase 2 of the Lae Wharf. Pollier claims Phase 1 was not constructed to standards, is defective and will cause the government over 200 million kina in variations to rectify the defects. He said the opposition will be taking steps to prevent China Harbour from being awarded the contract.
These steps include seeking legal advice on what Pollier claims as substandard work on Phase 1 of the Lae Wharf. Pollier claims the port is not usable and operators had refused to work on the wharf because of their safety concerns.
It's a very serious matter because, like I've indicated, 1.1 billion kina worth of project having a 200 million kina plus defect work, and the project then presented to government in 2014 as a complete project is a farce. It is not true.
The Lae Tidal Basin project is an important economic development for Papua New Guinea. It commenced construction in 2013 and Phase 1 was completed in 2014. It was predicted to boost economic growth in PNG.
I did warn the procurement processes that this company was blacklisted by the World Bank. and people never wanted to listen to this. Now, we've got reports done by independent engineering consultant companies who now illustrate that there is lack of quality control. The product output has major and glaring defects.
Police said when the government reviewed the completion of Phase 1, reports revealed that it would cost the nation 200 million kina to resolve the defective work. Tekla Gunga, National EMTV News.
There is lack of political power experienced in the most inland rural areas. This concern was raised by community leader of Gulf Province, Simon Kendolo. He said there must be a fair distribution of wealth in both urban and rural areas.
While development is evident in urban areas, people in rural areas continue to suffer. And Mr. Kendolo, who has spent his entire life in the village, told EMTV News this is reflective in Gulf Province, where inland rural areas have been neglected.
Give a hand and make sure that the community must be properly addressed and safe, and whatever service they provide, it needs to be maintained.
People have suffered, Mr. Kendolo says, because services like education, health and good road infrastructure have deteriorated over time. As a result, people from Gulf Province have migrated to what must be to access vital services.
This must be put aside and it need to be serve population there. It need to serve the public servants who are coming from another provinces there to serve.
Mr. Kendolo said Gulf Province needs political intervention and called on provincial leaders to put the differences aside and work for the common good.
I think that political leaders must put their differences aside and stand together and work as a team.
Fabian Hakelitz, National EMTV News.
Grade 10 leavers in Papua New Guinea will be able to advance their education overseas. This program was announced by Program Director of International Education Pathways Program, Peter O'Hanlon. Mr. O'Hanlon is in the country to promote education programs offered by Ankarai Group of Institutions in Bangalore, India. This includes pre-university, diploma, undergraduate and postgraduate programs. 6 students are now studying in India under this program. A non-government organisation has helped build classrooms for an elementary school in one of Lae's oldest suburbs. Lae's Rotary Club helped raise 20,000 kina to build the infrastructure at West Taraka's Ting Elementary School. Members of the club and its president were present for the opening of the classrooms.
It's not every day that this part of Lae City receives attention from organizations, either government or private. But yesterday, the community had something to celebrate. The long tradition of the Rotary Club continues.
With assisting to expand education services here in...
They have helped West Taraka children, and for this sometimes troubled suburb, it's a rare occasion. West Taraka's Ting Elementary will have a new classroom, the first one of 3, this one funded by Lae's Rotary Club and built by the parents. A representative of the Morobe provincial government was also in attendance to present funding on behalf of Governor Kelinaru.
His office will assist this school with 10,000 kina.
There has been significant cuts in government spending this year. Non-governmental organizations have been relatively quiet, but should take this time to help local communities.
We're proud and privileged that we've been able to contribute with the contribution towards the classroom, that Rotary provided the materials and the parents built the classroom, which is what it's all about. And also we've provided money to some of the teachers to be registered, which is important too.
The Lae Rotary Club is slowly making its presence felt in the most difficult Lae community. Bethany Harriman, National EMTV News, Lae.
Trukai Sports is up next with details of a Port Moresby-based Eastern Highlands competition and results from the NCD Governors' Cup. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. The National Capital District Eastern Highlands League has advanced into its 9th round of competition. Today saw a series of match playoffs between different teams at the Unagi Oval in Port Moresby.
At least 34 teams under 19 and A grade have vied for the Bars Cup in the Eastern Highlands League held at the Unagi Oval in Port Moresby. The first match showdown today was between Zombie Highway and the Hilltop Comets. In front of a packed crowd, Zombie Highway down Hilltop Comets by 12 points to nil with a try to Jonathan Akin in the first half, followed by another try to Junior Felix towards the dying minutes of the game.
First half, we play go game tight, strong game play. Namelo game 1 blood. 3 minutes left to go. Half time now. All Hilltop Comets drop on the ball Namelo, 30-meter line ball. Jonah Akin teams the ball, 30-meter ball team na the try late. I'm the first half. Game go. Second half, we watch come stop. Second half, we go second half. We go play. Omangi running ball go Ken. Second half, try go put the corner try him. Go make him kick him. Go and kick number 6. Kick inside. Kick inside. I mean 12-0.
In the second match, NBC Watchdogs secured 2 points victory over the Kana Eagles after a strong competition, while other teams set for the games have completed their match on a similar note. Eastern Highlands competition started in 2009 under the sponsorship of local MP Labi Amayu with a sum of 30,000 kina.
Me a sponsor blomla honorable Labi Amayu. I'm the play underneath low cup low picking in the boy block and first bond block and bus. Cup blomla and local bus cup. Running 3 years on top of PRL second division. Time only Brooklyn field like development 2015 games. We play Surgu come down here and I'm the stable here for the last 3 years. This year, 4 years.
This local competition has produced PNG's rugby league stars in Joshua Abavu, Kumul fullback, Hatebine Antas halfback, and Samuel Namex NCD Lakatoi's train-on squad. This competition has been going on for 6 years. Eric Arupma, National EMTV Sports.
PNG Kumul's player Sebastian Pandya has been named in the Ipswich Jets for this year's Intrust Super Cup season. The 25-year-old who joined Jets for pre-season training in December last year says he is adapting and happy with his progress. Sebastian will be playing alongside younger brother Richard, who has been with the Jets for 2 seasons now. And to football, yesterday's NSL match between Lae City Dwellers and Morbe United was defined by the Dwellers' tough defence. The Dwellers scored in both halves and defended 2 goals to win the game. Captain Raymond Ganemba is positive on the Champions Series ahead.
Lae City Dwellers' strong defence held off Morbe United Walgreens, who failed to score at full time, with Joachim Warroy scoring in the first half and Nigel Dabunyaba in the second. Dwellers captain Raymond Ganemba said his boys had been training hard prior to facing their opponent this week on home grounds.
Basically, it's Mibla come and Mibla Imim first game Mibla need to win the starting of this campaign Champions League.
The win has qualified them for another match on Wednesday at the Minor Premiers Games. Morbe United Walgreens is however confident to improve in its performance, as they will also be seen at Wednesday's matches.
Yeah, must have performance to boys. Pamla walk again, come again Wednesday game. Pamla improve the training.
Dwellers' win yesterday ensures the team's progress up the Champions League ladder. Colin Barlai, National EMTV Sports, Lae.
The National Capital District Governors' Cup ended yesterday with the Interoil Turagus thrashing the Harlequins in Port Moresby. Among the teams competing were 3 teams from the Arama Coast and the Central Province, who used the competition to get recognition and exposure from the PNG Rugby Football Union.
With the code of Rugby 7 still relatively new to PNG and yet to gain popularity like other rugby codes, the 2016 Governors' Cup Sevens competition attracted teams from throughout the country. Competing teams include 3 from the Arama Coast, Warumana Wanderers, Kiakalo Malagana and Baike Brothers, as well as the most notable teams Black Orchids and Kimbe Rebels. For the teams from Arama, they came into the competition for their players to have a feel of a higher level of competition from what they are used to.
And we just came to play our game, in particular to expose the young players from the Arama Coast area. So our target is not to win the cup, but at least to expose the players to another level.
The competition has been an eye-opener for some of the village-based players, and they are enjoying the challenge of competing against more experienced sides.
Sevens football is all about speed, and our boys are, we have the boys who have the speed. And to be playing in this competition, it's a great challenge to the young boys. It's not about winning, but it's about exposing the young talents up to this level.
With the Turagus taking out the cup, Baike Brothers defeated Black Orchids 17-12 to claim the plate. Medang Madgowns defeated Valley Hunters 19-7 for the bowl, and Nova slammed Brothers in the Shield Challenge. Dion Kombang, National EMTV Sports.
The Brisbane Broncos smashed the English Super League club Wigan 42 points to 12 in the World Club Series last night. The English side had no answer for the Broncos' onslaught as they ran in 7 tries to seal the match by 30 points.
Since the 2015 NRL Premiership was taken away from them in the dying minutes of the match, the Broncos were after redemption when they were to take on Wigan. From kickoff, it was clear to see that the Broncos had the upper hand in the contest, with Wigan struggling to tame the Broncos on attack.
First points of the game, and it's Corey Oates who's gone in.
The Broncos were relentless in attack, and their execution was precise.
Rubber kick comes in, ricochets off the post, and it is a try, is it, for Cody Nicarima.
On the other hand, Wigan struggled, with error after error in Brisbane's red zone, struggling to place the Broncos under any bit of pressure. By halftime, the Broncos had already stamped their mark in the contest with a commanding lead 24 points to 6.
Ghosts in from a superb pass from Cody Nicarima.
The Warriors had to be the first to score after the break, and they looked more resolute upon the resumption. But when an attacking play broke down with a fumble, New Brisbane centre James Roberts scooped up the loose ball and launched a counter-attack with Eden, which finished with Oates' second try up the other end of the field and on the opposite flank.
Punish Wigan now, and Corey Oates will get his second try of the game.
By then the match seemed out of reach for Wigan, with the Broncos wrapping up 42 points to 12. Dion Kombang, National EMTV Sports.
And Trukai Sports ends on that note. After the break, all your weather details. Stay tuned.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
Now looking at the weather forecast for tonight and tomorrow in the southern region, fine for Port Moresby, Alotau and Daru, mostly fine in Popondetta and partly cloudy in Kerema. In the Mamase region, mostly fine for Lae City, partly cloudy in Medang and Wewak with a chance of rain and chances of a shower or two for Vanimore. In the New Guinea Islands, all centres mostly fine with Buka expecting a shower or two. And lastly, in the Highlands region, all centres cloudy with a chance of rain except Mount Hagen, partly cloudy. And that ends National EMTV News. I'm Lorraine Genia. Pleasant working week ahead. Good night.